They are actually on the live waiting for us. Hi, ladies. Good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are. It is a pleasure having the both of you together, and I'll tell you why later on down in the program. But let us welcome each and everyone on the live. Sandy British, welcome Kino, Aileen, and KERRON. KERRON Stewart, Aileen Bailey, two of Jamaica's finest in personality and also talent. Ladies, we're here to talk about your experience at Jamaica National Trials. How important is physical preparation for Jamaican trials, our trials? Anyone can start first.
Stressful. It's very important because it's Jamaica and you know the type of people you're going up and we're as Jamaicans, we don't like lose. So it's like neck and neck and it's people that you've competed with your entire life. So it's fun at the same time but stressful because you want to make the team, but then you want your brethren make the team too. So it's yeah.
KERRON, what was it like for you?
I think, I mean, if you're going to show up at trials, I think you should already be in physical shape. But I think the challenge really is the mental aspect of it. Because there is something you walk through that tunnel. I don't know about anybody else, but it does something for me when I step on that track. It's just something else. Even if I'm not in this shape, take over. So it's definitely a lot of pressure, but once you're mentally and physically prepared, I think the stage is always set for you to do great.
What are some of the physical training method that you guys have to go through to be on your best game when you turn up in Jamaica for the national trials?
Oh God. Because I think we start because I think what after the season end we get like a month off, so which is probably like September and then October. So we literally start from October preparing for no. And it's a lot of work, it's a lot of dedication. You have to give up a lot of sacrifices. You have to cut down your partying time and you have to focus and you have to eat. Um, so you have to make sure your food is right, your body's in shape, because and your physical therapy, all of that stuff. So it's like a wide variety of stuff that we have to do to prepare us for just these 3 days.
KERRON, I've heard a lot of terms going around: strength training, speed training, endurance training. At what stages you guys have to do your strength, your speed, and your endurance and all the other training? How does it really work?
I think, well, for me, like at this point, it is more tapering now because the work is already done. There's not much that you can do now to get better, other than just to maintain what you already have. But for me, as a power sprinter, the power side of things never end. For me, it's just tapering. The endurance still is high. The intensity is high. So it would be at this point, it would be more intensity, more rest, less volume. For everybody is different because for some people they start tapering 10 days. That's a method that I like, the 10-day tapering. But for everybody is different. But for me, you always have to keep that power and explosiveness going. Like once I stop lifting, a lot of my power gone because I'm a power sprinter versus somebody who is a speed sprinter.
The term tapering, can you break it down a little bit for us? Some of us who don't understand the term in track and field.
So tapering is where you cut down the volume. So if you would normally say 3 weeks out, you would normally do um, six 150. You would taper that down to three, but it will be very fast. You will be going at 95% or 90%. And again, that's different for everybody because some people still don't work up to 95%. But I think if you're a sprinter, you should push your body to at least 95% in practice.
And this is intensity, right? Is it intense?
So at the beginning of the season is more volume, right? But once you get to this time of the season is intensity. So the volume goes down, intensity goes up. Once you just start practice, the volume is high, the intensity, because at that point when you just start practicing, your body can't handle intensity.
You both went to university after high school. The NCAA circuit, I get to understand, is very brutal. How do you guys manage that competition and then to come into trials immediately and still be at the top of your game? Aileen, you want to go
Um,
first?
no, it depends on your coach. Because like when I was at University of South Carolina, Coach Fry didn't coach me for NCs. We trained. He coached me to be able to finish to go way past NCs. So everything, because he knows that I have my national trials and he knows that I'm going to make the team and I'm going to go to the world championship. So everything is geared to that. I don't know how he did it, have me run fast at NCs and then run fast for the rest of the year. But I might have to ask him how he did that. But that's what he did. And then my NCs, I didn't run every single week. When I was at South Carolina, I didn't run every single week. Or if I did run, it would be one event and one sprint event and a relay. And 95% of the time, I'm on somebody's 4x4, which I hated. But apparently, it was good for me. So, yeah, so that's how he did that. So, I didn't do a whole bunch of work and running when I was in college like that.
How was it for you, Karen?
I think it's similar to Alien. My coach, especially if it's a world championship year or an Olympic year, I was fortunately enough to have the coach who that was important to him over an NCAA title. Plus, we didn't have a team to win a title that year, so I didn't race a lot. I had to run more 4x4s than I wanted to as well, some 400s as well. But I think it's all about timing. And if your coach is not in a position where he can say, okay, we're gonna prepare for your trials, versus if you have a coach who he's saying if you're in the SECs and we're gonna win, like you have to run. We will be prepared. And some coaches are good with their timing where you can do well at NCs and still come to your trials and do well. But for me, that was, I'm not gonna lie, my first year it was difficult. Because when I finished NCs, I ran at least 40 races already, and I wasn't being raced a lot. So just imagine somebody who is racing a lot. I can't imagine how their body hold up all the way from training from September to September. Like,
Wow.
yeah, that's a year.
Wow, we you both, the both of you, I follow the both of you career closely, and the both of you manage to stay pretty much injury free throughout your career. I'm sure there are times when maybe you have little things. I know that Aileen was injured as a junior coming back from the Carifta games, but what was your injury preventative measures so that you guys could stay fit when you turn up at the trials and also compete for the country on the global stage? How did you manage not getting injured?
Ice bath, massages, rehab stuff. So rehab never stop. Which and that's within your gym and your strength training. So you have to, and a lot of times, people tend to focus more on the big muscles and not the smaller ones. And the smaller ones for us are the ones that always annoys us, and it causes stress on the other ones. So we have to pay attention to that. So rehab, having a good physical therapist, and that, like I said, nutrition, like your food is your medicine. So that will help you repair stuff, and adequate rest is very important as well.
Karen?
Honestly, I had good people around me. I had some really, really good masseuse. I was really blessed to know people. But I also listen to my body. I listen to my body a lot, and I try to educate myself. So if I have an injury, I'm not gonna have that injury again because I try to learn as much as I can to prevent those injuries. Of course, you can't predict or prevent every type of injury, but I try to learn a lot about the anatomy about the body. So that helped me as well. But I had some really, really good masseuse.
What are some of the most common injuries that you guys would have had? And I'm talking about track and field in general. I've heard about the groin injury a lot, but what are some of the common injuries that track and field, especially sprinters, what are some of the injuries that you guys can get easily?
I think hamstring, ankle, ah,
Quad,
yeah, quad, but
back.
hamstring is yeah. And most of those injuries though is if you have good technique too, it eliminate a lot of those injuries as well. Overuse, overwork, um, that help as well with the level of injury an athlete gets.
Have any of you ever compete with an injury?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Uh, 2010 when I tore my hamstring, um, yeah, I got good therapy and everything, but I went back to practice too early and I irritated it. And I went to two races and I ran.
So did you
I just,
ever recover completely?
yes, it. I mean, the muscle healed, but I think what affected me most was my mechanics. It changed, and couldn't get it back. For I don't know. I just couldn't get it back.
Aileen, you're
So it
burning
was
to say something.
no, it was my big toe, and I think it's that Nike spikes because Shelly had the same issues. Sonia had the same issues. It's the like where your big toe is.
Hmm. Oh,
Um,
underneath
on
that
on
spot?
the underneath that spot. So, and I think it was like a stress fracture, but the doctor says there's nothing we can do. One summer I was in a boot and it healed, and then I still have to run in my Nike spikes because they were sponsoring at the time. So in 2005 World Championship, I was running in excruciating pain.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mental
always
prepar-
you
Go
all.
ahead. Go ahead, Karen.
I said, as an athlete, you're always gonna run in some form of
Some pain.
Some
just
form of
try to
discomfort.
manage that pain.
But you guys are, as coaches, do you recommend it though for athletes to run to compete when there is a discomfort?
Discomfort, yes.
Discomfort. But yeah.
Because you're not gonna be comfortable all the time. Pain, no, not you're not even gonna practice. For me, that's me as a coach. If you're in excruciating pain, like that's a no for me.
I know,
Men
yeah, because my head coach would be mad at because I'm the assistant coach at my high school, and my kid says his hamstring hurt. Oh, that 4x4 or what? If it's a lot, the 4x4 and we really don't need to run it. Everybody's out. We're not running.
Do you think sometimes athletes you call the injury card in order not to compete? How
Yeah,
can you tell? How can you tell if they're
You
using
can
that
tell.
card?
You can tell like because you spend so much time with your kids. Like you can know when they're faking it and you know when it's real. So I know depends on like the volume they had during the week and the track meet and because a lot of my kids are football players. So I have to be careful because they come to me with football injuries and issues. So I literally have to be careful, and then I have to, and then you can see them walking off. Their walk is off. So you can definitely tell based on how their walk is different or just their facial expression. You definitely can tell if they're faking it or they're just literally in pain.
Can you tell, Karen?
honestly, if they sometimes I can't tell, and I have to listen to them. That's the honest truth. But I always tell them if you want to lie, that's all on you. But I don't force my kids to run. And I am in a position where we're not going after titles. So I don't have to force them to run. And even if we were going after title, it is still your call. That if I, and it depends too, if there's certain, if their hamstring hurt, or if they're glued some, go run. Shin, go run. But if you're talking about your Achilles, stuff like that, no. I give them the opportunity to make decisions sometimes, right? And I'm like, okay, if you lose my trust, then that's something that you're gonna have to live with. But I try to have them make decisions, because they're moving on to college and you're gonna become an adult, so you have to start making these decisions. And sometimes some of them will will run and get hurt. So I'm like, you have to know your body, and you have to be honest with yourself. You have to know what you can run with and what you can't run with, because I can't do it for you. I don't know what you're feeling. So you're gonna have to make a decision. And whatever decision you make, live with it.
Mental preparation or mental stability has become a big part of sport. How were you guys able to prepare yourself mentally to turn up at Jamaica national trials, especially in a time when the both of you were competing with some of the best in the business, not just in Jamaica, but overall? Alien, what was your mental preparation like when you decide to board that plane and come to trials?
No, my focus on my mental status is to always give it my best, and because all I can do is give my best, and then I just go out there and put in the work. But no, and then I mean, it doesn't matter how prepared you are. Once you get on the line, you feel like a little bit of nerves, but apparently nerves is good because gives you that little adrenaline. So it's just confidence in yourself and your coaching and your training that you're going to just go out there and handle business, even though you know that everybody's on the same playing field. You just have to go out there and just give it your best. So mentally for me, I just come out, listen to Bob, and roll with the punches.
Yeah, I noticed some athletes they dance, some listen to music, they do different things. Alien, yours was this.
Oh yeah, shadow box.
Yes,
It was
yeah,
nerves. It was just
yeah.
calming myself. So I've been doing it since high school. And then I used to do the two color socks because it was distracting to people, like why she's in two different color socks. So I brought that from high, and then lady, high school in Jamaica prepare you for anything. And then when I was in high school, it was like a Vertex San Diego rivalry. But all of us were like, man, I used to go Diego after school every Friday. So and people, so those were my friends. But when it comes to champs, the competition, and then when we're literally friends and we're communicating with each other, and we're saying that, don't take it easy on me, champs coming up, we have to, tough, because after champs we have to go Cariftan. So it's literally that mental toughness that's been instilled in us from what basic school when we start run. So we carry that along with us from high school, because if you're not mentally strong, running at boys and girls champs, people will
I
get you
know, right?
out of your zone, make you want to fight. But we create that sense of calm and just channel the anger into competition. So that's pretty much what we do um throughout our life.
What was it like for you, Karen? That mental preparation to come to the trials?
I start preparing mentally for the first day I start practicing. I
Wow.
start, yep. um, because the thing is, we focus so much on the physical and not
True.
the mental part of it. Because once you show up at that trials, you better be ready.
Yes,
So
already.
you can't wait until you get on the plane to decide if you're ready, right? I make up my mind since I training in September that I will be ready. I'm getting ready for for the trials. But I do agree with Alien. Champs, if you compete at champs, you can go on any stage and compete. Because I don't know, I have competed in front of bigger crowd than champs, but for some reason that crowd just sound like
Different.
everywhere else. I'm telling you, I can't explain it. You just have to experience it. When you walk through that tunnel and you step inside that stadium, I don't know, something just come alive in me. So even if I am not in shape, I don't know, something just switch on and I'm like just a different person when I step inside of that stadium. I don't know. It's just something. I don't know if it's just me, but it's something happen when you step inside that stadium.
I've seen it myself going to champs for many, many years and watching, watching you guys because yes, I watch you guys competed at champs and it's
Wow.
like as you said before, it's like the energy once you come into the stadium and you hear that noise is like you guys put on some superhero um attitude and it is about winning. But you know something, how do you guys manage your rest? Finish NCs, coming into trials, how do you manage your rest to recover, to go through 3 days or 4 days of competition, especially the both of you ladies who normally double, so you run Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
After doubling, I think in 2008, I never doubled again.
It's rough.
Yeah, because they have it easy now. I know some people might be mad at me, but it's true. Because at the Olympics, I went through 4 rounds of the 100, 4 rounds of the 200.
Yes.
That is
They get
next.
to miss.
Yeah, that's
You,
next level type.
Karen, you did not double for Berlin 2009?
No,
Mhm.
Okay, okay. So it's tough, right?
it is. It's very tough. Like I remember uh, going through like the semifinals. I remember I was telling myself, "You remember how many 300s you did? Like this is only one 200." And mentally, that's where
Easy.
you go because physically, like your body is shot. So mentally now you gotta dig someplace so deep. And that's why preparation is so important because guess what? That how I felt then, I felt it so many days in practice. So when I get to that point, I had to just talk myself through it. And they say motivation go and come, and it's true. You have to motivate yourself. And I'm like, I've been waiting for this moment for so long. Like I'll
Time
rest
to
I'll rest when this is over. But it's tough. It's really, really, really tough. And I think people don't understand, like, that's why I could understand why some of these guys, why they celebrate like that, because you train for almost a year for this one moment and you only get to live this for 10 seconds or 9 seconds. You should be able to celebrate because you train so hard for just this 9 seconds.
You ladies are, a lot of you are friends and stuff, but you ladies seem to be very competitive when it comes on to the trials. I did an interview with Ricardo Chambers, and Ricardo Chambers, former quarter miler, he said the Jamaican trials is the toughest competition he has ever done. Not even the world championship or the Olympic is as tough as Jamaica trials. How do you ladies feel about that? What's your comment on that?
Agree.
I
Agree.
agree. Definitely.
Because
Because every round somebody want to chop off your head. Every single round is like you have to run. It's not like NCs where you can just get out and course. Or our world championship and Olympics when they because you're fast enough they put you in like an easy round and you can get out and course. Trials is like from start to finish is just somebody and then like there's like a little young youth you trying to cruise the round and them just want give you work and you can't. give up your spot. You have to like fight for it. So it's just
My favorite trials is 2008. We're going to talk about 2008 a little bit. And one of the most exciting race for me at trials 2008 was the women's 100 meter. That lineup with Veronica, ALEEN, KERRON, Sharon, Shelly-Ann, Fraser Price. I mean,
Brooks.
all of you ladies were on top form. What was the pressure like, ALEEN, when you look over and see Veronica, who has been carrying the gold medal coming into that trials? How did you feel seeing Veronica and seeing KERRON? Because that year, KERRON was actually the top Jamaican with world lead at one point. How did you feel, ALEEN, seeing those two ladies in that final?
I mean, it was oh God. I mean, Karen. I was like, I am just gonna try and aim for something. So I did. I was like, to the point where I was like, you know what? Man, I really a done gaga, so me second for a spot on the relay because
Listen,
it was that intense where
I
you
wasn't
got to the point where
running.
like
I wasn't running, but
it
that
is what
Friday,
it is.
I wasn't on that track running, but that Friday evening, I think it was June 27th, 2008, when I saw five ladies at the height of their career and we only needed three. And I was like, oh my God, how is this going to go? KERRON, I want to tell me what was going to your mind because you won the trials.
You know,
Okay.
I love a pressure situation when it comes on to, let me rephrase that. I love a pressure situation when it comes on to athletics. So for me, being on that line, it was like I live for these type of moments. I love when the race is hot. I love when the best is on the line. I live for those moments. But I wasn't afraid. There was no nerves, no nothing. I wasn't even thinking that I was the best. I was just ready. And I'm like, if anybody is gonna beat me tonight, like we're gonna run really fast.
And
that's,
it
that's
was.
that's
It
just me.
it was fast. So seeing Veronica and we know what she can do. You guys, there was no nerves.
No, it's hard for me now to like watch. I'm like
Stress is bad.
I'm stressed right out. I'm like,
You need to go back and watch that race. 2008, June 27th. It was a Friday evening.
I
Yeah,
I
we can do that.
relax is it's, the thing is, honestly, that 2008, like I think I went through like every possible situation that could happen. So I visualize if I get left in the block, if I get out, if I fall, I visualize every possible situation that could happen. So when I get on the line, all I was thinking about is just to compete. I'm always so relaxed before a start of a race. I'm like, sometimes I'm thinking like, yo, I'm relaxed. Now I'm watching these kids compete. I'm the type of nerves I'm feeling. I'm like, I am happy I wasn't like this when I'm competing because it wouldn't be good.
Did you, KERRON, did you know that you were going to win that race? Because let me tell you, after that race, if you drop cotton in the national stadium, you could hear it. And we all know why. We all know why. If you drop, when the race finished, the entire stadium was silent.
I
And
don't think.
we all know why it was silent.
Yeah, we believe. I am not gonna say that I know I was gonna win. I don't know because if I know I was gonna win, I wouldn't train as hard as I
But
train.
you were the top
But
Jamaican that year. You went in the
That's not,
fastest. You were on
that
fire.
means nothing. That
that
means
means
nothing.
nothing.
This is
True,
my
true.
thing. The seven person who line up next to me is a reason why they're there. So I don't go into that race thinking, because if you dare go into a race that I am in and you think that you have that race won, you
Mm-mm.
will be making a mistake. because you're just gonna have to cross that finishing line before me to get that win. But I am never complacent when I go in a race because I know that anybody, if they are complacent with me in that race, they would be making a mistake. So how could you be complacent in a race with Veronica Campbell in that race, Alien, Sharon at the time?
Shelly and
Yeah,
Shelly
but
Baby Jelly.
and
nobody really
Shelly
knew that
and
Shelly
Shelly
was.
and right and Shelly and who nobody knew. I knew about Shelly because Shelly was at the World Championship in 2007. A lot of people might not remember her, but she ran the
She ran
relay.
the first round of the relay, and they took
Right.
her off.
Right, she ran in the relay. So when I was in the stadium and I saw that lineup, I turned to a friend. A friend, let me tell you, I'm going to be honest, I could not watch that race. When the starter said, "On your marks," I turned my back to the field. I could not watch. And when the gun went off, that was when I turned around. You understand? And the entire stadium, it was a bittersweet moment, and we all know why. You guys know why. I know why. As I said before, if you drop cotton in the stadium, you could hear it. But Karen, you have a top end speed there. Where you get that
Next,
the top end speed there from,
next
Karen?
level.
Practice.
Next
I,
level.
I practice that top end speed and practice almost every single day.
Man,
Because
you
even the like the 2 weeks coming up to trials, every run I make, I dip for that line because in my head I'm saying you are gonna have to be one of the best leaners out there to win that race. So I wasn't going there expecting that okay, I'm just gonna win. No, I was preparing like to out lean everybody because I know that's how close it was
Yeah.
it was gonna be. But my top end speed, I I worked at it, and I just believe that if you get out before me, all I keep saying in my head, I'm gonna catch you, I'm gonna catch you, I'm gonna catch you. That
did you run a lot of 400 in practice?
no, no, my coach don't believe in going over 300. Like for women, we never go over 300 in practice. And as a sprinter, I don't see why you need to go over 300 anyway.
Yeah.
I make my athletes run 500, 600 in practice, but it's not a full 600. I break it up.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah, you gotta break it up.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. Like I'm a sprinter. Why am I gonna run 600 and 500? Like yeah,
Because when they're
I have
tired,
an issue passing that finishing line.
yeah. Because when they're tired, their form goes
So exactly, and you're
to
teaching
hell, and then
sprints that hold that mechanic. So
yeah, you can't.
I can tell you, I've never seen a 100-meter at the trials so competitive. And I've been watching track and field for a long time, and I have never seen a competitive 100-meter at the trials. And you both went to Beijing, and you both made the team to Beijing. You both made the team to Berlin, where the both of you won gold. uh what was it like with you, the both of you being on the same team, so competitive? I'm not sure if you guys ran on the college circuit together, but running at the trials and lining up together for Jamaica. Tell me a little bit about that feeling.
I mean, because actually, 2004 Olympics, Karen was there,
yeah,
and I made her dance on stage, which was so cool.
That was what, 2000 and
2004 Olympics, there's a picture of me and Asafa, and if you look to the far right, you will see Karen dancing. So 2004 yeah, so she was there 2004 Olympics, so she was actually in the mix with us from a younger age. So like the bonding start from there, and she's easy to work with. Um, and you know, our mindset is we do what is best to win, and we set up the team based on how it is best for us to win, and that's 2009 World Championship. That was what we did. Shelly ran the backstretch. I ran the third leg. Karen anchored, and we just did what we
I
had to
I
do.
remember I remember that gold medal. Yeah, I remember that relay. like it was yesterday. You know, I remember Berlin like it was yesterday. But Karen, I tell you, you're like a train. I remembered as
No.
Aileen talk. No, I'm being serious. I remember as Aileen talk about 2009. You were left in the blocks, and you were coming like a train for Shelly. You almost catch Shelly on the line in Berlin. I don't know. I don't know if you remember that race.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
Yeah.
you were coming like a train because Jamaica got 1-2 in that 100
Yeah. And it was
one.
like close.
It was very close
Or
because Karen was left in. Is it because
yeah,
I is
I
it
think
because of your height, Karen, that you struggle with your start?
I don't know. It's definitely not because then Usain would have the same issue. So it's not height. I
Okay.
think I react quick. It's just that my acceleration was just not the best. It just not the best. Horrible. So it's not the start. It was just that acceleration working through the dry phase. I if it was a 3 point, if we could go from 3 point, then
Killed him.
once I get in that block, working through the dry phase, my acceleration was just not good.
The Jamaica national trials is this weekend, and the US trials is also this weekend. We have Jamaica. When you look at the list of women, we have more than 10 women vying for 8 spots in a final. Yes. I have a list here and I have 15 women, and it's only 8 can line up in that final. What a legacy we have in our women sprinting.
It
Your thoughts, ladies.
it's such a great legacy, honestly, and to be mentioned in that legacy, it's even like more remarkable. But I love where it's heading. I just hope that the athletes will get the support that they need so this legacy can continue. And because when you look at it, if you go back to 2008 or 2007, the person who wins at the trials or come in the top two is likely to medal at the Olympics or the World Championship. So,
Hmm.
man, the legacy I think speaks for itself. But to speak about that legacy without mentioning the people who have came before us and just set that stage and that platform for us is just. I just hope we take care of that and continue to nurture this legacy.
I totally agree with you. And the beauty about this legacy that continues, Shelley and Fraser Price is still at the top of her game. Shelly and we Jamaica, we've had 3 clean sweep at global championship, and Shelly and Fraser Price have been a part of those 3 clean sweep. 2008, the 1-2-2. 2021 or 2020 Olympics, Tokyo Olympics, 1-2-3. Shelly was there. Last year in Eugene, 1-2-3. Shelly led that 1-2-3. What can we say about that little dynamo that erupt the stadium 2008 to get an automatic spot?
There's no words, man. Like the only person we can compare her to is Merle's, because she has that Merlene Otti confidence and drive, and she's like kind of like what Merlin says, if I'm still in it, I'm going to still go out there and give it what I have. And it's just our drive as Jamaican women, next level, man. We're just different. We just built different. We and if somebody tells us we can't, we're just gonna prove them wrong, which is what is what's keeping her going that way, because people keep telling her she can't. And she's smart. She's preserving her, she's resting. Like you said, she's preparing, she's preserving her body, she knows her body, she understands her body, she's listening to it. And all she needs is to show up this week, run a 1 run, and then prepare and go world championship. And if you notice, Shelly used the rounds to warm up and get in shape. So I mean, she's just, oh God, phenomenal, man.
Amazing. 5 world championships. Who does that?
Shelly,
Which ordinary person does that? 5 world championship. Five.
when you're purpose to do something, that's what it looks like.
Wow. But somebody, I remember when I was studying a few years ago, I was doing a master's in sport management. And I remember when it was discovered that I'm from Jamaica. You know what was the first thing they asked me in my class?
Which I can run.
How does Jamaicans run so fast? And I didn't know what to say. I said, I don't know. It's just in our DNA.
It's not,
Everybody wanted to know. For every presentation I did, they were like, tell us about the Jamaicans. How do you guys run so fast? So,
I
what
think,
I want to ask you, ladies, what can we accredit accredit with our longevity? Because our athletes, the Jamaican athletes, especially the women, when you talk about longevity, uno have it in a man.
I think it's nutrition. Like I literally feel like there's nothing else I could think of. It's like it's nutrition and how like we're raised because we literally like everything is grown organically and if you're sick and something in the backyard for it, we walk everywhere. Um,
Or we
all
run.
over the we walk, we run, and me know say Karen, one dog run down Karen already. So I think we've been training for dog run it out. We've been training, man. One dog. There's that one dog that all of us have had to run from. So and then we're always outside exercising. We play outside, we run around, we do all stuff of stuff. So I think it's just like naturally what we've been putting in our body since we were created in our mother's wombs is just what's building us. And our mothers, like they've been working out with like while they're pregnant, they're lifting heavy, carrying this and that, and so we've been training since we were in the womb. So it's just genetics, man, and what we put in our body.
Amazing. Karen?
I think Jamaica do such a good job too in like the grassroots program. So, like I mean, I've asked that question before too. So I did. I had to do some research to and show people like a part of why, and champs is a big part of that as well. So you have these kids from basic school. You have them in the stadium running. They're used to that crowd. They're used to that competition, right? And Jamaicans, there is nowhere that you can put us that we can't survive. Like we have this resilient type of mentality, right? Like you put us in an environment and we're gonna figure out stuff. We are gonna survive. So whether we have the equipment, the right facility, it doesn't matter. We are gonna find a way to be great because it's just in us. It's a part of us. It's a part of our DNA to survive and to just shine wherever you put. Like I have traveled everywhere, a lot of places in this world, and you can always find a Jamaican. And you find them in a country where they can't speak the language, but these people are surviving.
And they learn after a
And
while. They learn and they learn it and adapt.
Amazing.
yeah,
Amazing. 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 We just know how to survive. We're very adaptable. We're very adaptable. Looking at the 100 meters, that's the only race I'm going to discuss with you guys because that's your thing. And as I said before, I have 15 ladies. Of course, I have the top 3 that I cannot rule out. I never rule out a champion. So the top 3 is still Shelly, Elaine, Sharika. Who do you think, based on maybe what you guys have seen, will get that 4th spot? Because we're the defending champions, so we can carry 4 for the 100. Who do you think will get that 4th spot? Is it the youngster Alana Reed, who is doing brilliant things? Is it Sasha Lee Forbes, who ran 10.98 this season? There's young Brianna Williams. There's Kevona Davis, Natasha Morrison. There are so many of them. I want you guys to just pick a number 4. because we need a number four. And some people might say I am ambitious to say
Can't pick.
the top ladies will make the team, but we know what Elaine can do. We know what Sharika can do. So I am not going to rule them out of my top three. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's good.
Give me a number four, ladies.
I
Number four
I'm
is hard.
I'm not gonna give you a number for,
I
and
can't.
this is me from coming from an athlete perspective.
Yes.
Anybody who make that final, you have a
Such
chance.
hands.
That is
Yeah.
it. Listen,
Exactly.
It's
you
who wants it
a
more.
young athlete could show up and surprise everybody.
Yes.
I'm sure 2008 nobody expected it to go the way it went, because
Oh,
most
that's
of
true.
those young athletes are showing up, and honestly, there is no pressure. There is nothing to lose. And then you have those veterans who have said, "Listen, I've been here a million times before." So if you make that finals, you have a
You have a
chance.
shot.
Yep.
I totally, I like that answer. I totally agree with you because I've been asked a question a lot who I think will get that fourth spot. And when I look at the list, I'm calling about 4 or 5 names. So you're right. Once you're in that final and that gun goes off, any number can play. And of course, we saw it 2008. We saw what happened 2008, and to this day it is still one of the most talked about trials where the top person in that race did not make the individual cut. So you're right, Karen. What you have to say, Aileen? You're going to give me a name?
Me can't pick. I can't pick. Like I literally can't pick. Me can't
it's,
pick.
it's
I
true.
mean,
It's
I
true.
mean, if it was like an option, I mean, I'm always biased towards Sharika because it's a Tech thing.
Right.
So I know so she go win. But
And
the
I
rest
think,
of them, I know.
yeah, I
But
don't
it's
think,
hard to pick though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sharika is the number one for Jamaica this season, and Sharika, in my opinion, is very much there.
Hard.
As I said before, me
It's
not rule out
hard to
me not rule
No,
out
no, I will never rule
Elaine.
out Elaine because
No,
she's a fighter.
no,
So
no. Elaine
I'm
know
not-
how to do this thing.
yeah, and they have to come good. But
Yeah.
then them babies, man, them babies deadly. The
Yes.
moment it's bad.
Shirka is gonna be hard to beat though. But
Yeah.
again, I have been in the best shape of my life. Go to bed good that night before, wake up that morning with something.
Some
Something.
pinch nerve. Yeah.
Are you see? Tell me about that, Karen. Tell me how you recover from that.
Pray.
So one I flew to Paris, right? I had a meet. I practiced good the day before. And jet lag, I fall asleep with my neck in the wrong position. When I wake up that morning, when I tell you that my masseuse, this man is the best. When I wake up, I tell you my neck couldn't move. I couldn't swing my arm back. By time 3 hours later, I mean I was in a lot of pain, but just to be able to move and run, it was a miracle. So we are humans, and sometimes things happen, and the the hard thing is there is no explanation behind that time or beside that time. It might say win aided, but that's all it's gonna say.
Hmm.
Gonna give an explanation, and sometimes we wish people knew what it took for us to line up on that line. And a lot of us, we had to fight through a lot just to be on that line. Like, so, but I never get into what people in the stands have to say,
Yes. Yeah.
because that's your job, that's your right to say whatever you want to say. But I wish sometimes these people would just realize that these athletes are human beings, and it really took a lot out of us sometimes to go out on that line and show up and say, you know what, I'm gonna compete even though I don't want to be here right now.
I totally agree with you. Have any of you ever had a situation where trials is coming up and you were looking forward to it, and when you get very close to it, you realize that some part of you or something to do with you is not ready, and you wish you had more time?
Yes, I had that. 2000 and oh gosh, 2012. When I tell you I was in no shape, I don't know. I don't know how I made that team. I was in no shape at all. But I tell you, when I get on that line in the finals, I was like, hey, I'm making it to that finishing line first. But I was in the top four, and I don't even know how that happened. But again, sometimes it's, and that's why it's so mental. That's why the sport is so mental, because I could, for example, 2013 when I won the 100, 2 weeks prior, I came last, dead last in Stockholm. I mean, I saw people finishing the race, and I was still fighting. Right? Guess what? I I had to put that race behind me, right? And I was like, listen, if anybody is gonna beat me tonight, they're just gonna have to. We are just gonna have to run this race together. And if they, but I never stepped to the line and not believe that I have a chance to win. That was always my mentality. If I make it here, I have a possibility. There is a possibility and a strong possibility that I can win.
I've heard athletes, and this is at the champs level now. I've heard athletes said that when they line up in their race and when they look across and see Veer technical uniform kit or Edwin Allen kit, it's like they fall apart. They fall apart. Nerves took them over because they're now seeing a very technical athlete, or they're seeing Saint Jago, or they're seeing Edwin Allen, and
Uh,
it mess with them mentally, and as a result of that, they're not able to perform.
I'm sorry, it's
well,
just the effect we have.
then I relate to that.
You, you can relate to that.
So I can't because
We
I
can't, because we like she's Jago, I'm Vera. We can't relate to
so
you
seeing
you guys
lacrosse.
are you
part
guys
of
are
of
intimidating. You guys are intimidating.
I've
Yes.
heard I've heard I've heard a lot of athletes say that, but I don't know. I feel like when you go to St. Louis, you take on this persona of I am at the number one high school in Jamaica. Sorry, the one number one high school, that's San Diego. So you kind of take on
Mhm.
personality like you are number one.
Yeah.
So when you go out there, is like you're not really thinking about anybody.
And then we have bragging rights. KERRON have like Juliet Campbell and um
Bert Cameron
Robert
and
Cameron.
Ash
We have
Mead and
and
Michelle
and Joan
Freeman and
and Michelle.
Joan Blake and
Yes,
all these people, while Veer Technical of
we
Merlin
have Merlene
and
and Beverly
Veronica
and
and Beverly
Veronica. So I
and
mean,
Dion Hemmings and all these people. So when you guys walk out, I mean, certain other schools them get scared. The poor thing, they are scared. I remember the young lady, she told me, she said, Miss, I don't know what happened, but I look across and I saw the Edwin Allen uniform, and I tell coach that I'm not running. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I couldn't tell my coach that.
no, we can't run. What?
But
Not
but as
what?
but as you guys said, and I agree with you, it is mental. Somebody told me that sport is more than 50% mental.
It is. And
I
Jamaica, and like the thing is, Jamaica prepares you from, because remember, no, better yet, we've been prepared from sports day, because sports day is like a champs. So we've had bragging rights from sports day at school, and then you go to parish champs, and then that happens, and you go to primary champs, and all of that stuff. So it's been instilled in us from day one. So it's like it just stay with us, and then when you end up going to a school where it's a power school, and it's just like you become, that school, you become like all the athletes that have been there before you, because you're trying to claim your hierarchy in that And then when somebody goes, yeah, man, you know, Aileen Bailey went here, that's like, what? Yes, I want to go to this school because Aileen Bailey went here. So it's just, it's just that,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
That's a very good point. As you rightfully said, people who have gone on before is like if you start going to that school, it's like you take on those personalities. You know, you're like, oh, I'm from there. I'm from
yeah,
St. Jago. I'm from Calabar. I'm from Casey. So you're already a winner before you even
started.
run. Yeah. Yeah. But guys, do you think we will see any surprise in the women's 100-meter come Friday evening at about 9:30 Jamaica time?
It's Jamaica Trials.
I'm
Some,
stressing. I'm
something
stressing out.
off,
I'm
you
stressing out, Karan.
you really
something always happens.
anything that can happen at the trials.
Yeah,
Really,
Something always happens.
yeah, that is true, and I can tell you, I am looking forward to it. You know, I'm sorry that I won't be there in the stadium because I love to be there to watch track and field, but I will be watching, and I'm looking forward to it because at the end of the day, any four that goes out there, I will be cheering for them because it's Jamaica that will be wearing that kit. You know, so it doesn't matter. It's just supporting my team. But ladies, I know that you guys miss the sport. What do you miss the most, Karen?
competing.
It's the
I
best.
competing. I miss that honestly.
Do you miss the training?
No, would miss. No,
No, mm-mm. No miss that. Mm-mm. No. Competition was fun, man.
So what about the traveling and the friendships that you guys form over the years?
track and field is so weird. I'm gonna be real. There, it was more competition than friendship. To be honest, there are athletes that yes, I have the utmost respect for, but it wasn't so much friendship. Honestly, and I'm being real because
Mm.
when I go to a meet, sometimes you don't even know that I'm there
You
unless
can't always ahead.
go
Yeah,
for
yeah,
breakfast.
Karen, you're like Tori. You're like Tori Bowie.
Always ahead.
And I like to talk about Tori Bowie. When Tori Bowie is at a meet, you either see Tori's smile or you hear the announcer call her name. Sometimes you hear the name and you're like, "What? Tori Bowie in that race?" That
Yeah.
was kind of like you, Karen. Very quiet.
I know the only
You know.
time we saw Karen is if she's getting on the bus, so we have to just shake. She getting on the bus to shake out, and she hungry.
Yep.
And then if there's a way for her food to go to her room, she
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, Karen, focusing on that
yeah.
100 meter,
And
focusing on that
that's her,
start.
and that's her, and that's why she was able to be as successful as she is. Like not everybody is a social butterfly and wants to be outside all the time. Because you're here for a specific reason, so you just get that, handle that, get that done. Not click, run your race, hug few people, lick off them fists, and just go back again.
Yeah, I used to see that with Karen for real. You know, like when I watch and see her on TV, she's always, no hype, no nothing. She's just in her lane, and when her name call, and a smile, and she move on. But ladies, any regrets?
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't say any regrets because I learned any decision I made, I learned from it, and I believe that that was the path that I was supposed to take. So I wish I celebrated more. You know, after a race, I wish I celebrated more. I wish I enjoyed the moment more because it was always okay. I didn't win the goal. I have to go back to work. So I didn't like celebrate that, and I I wish other athletes don't make that same mistake because sometimes people have to remind me like you accomplish all these things, and I think you did tell me so. I was like, what? I
Yes.
didn't know all of this because you you did your job and you move on. And it was like, okay, I didn't even take the time to appreciate I was the third fastest woman in the world, or, the second fastest woman in the world. And now those moments, I can't relive them anymore. So I encourage athletes to enjoy the moment, appreciate what you're doing. Don't let people, don't let people's expectation make you be ungrateful, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. When you're thinking, okay, this is what I need to be, this is what I the times that I should be running, or this is how I should be competing, and not thinking about, okay, you know what? There is how many billions of people on the planet, but I am the third fastest woman in the world.
Wow, beautiful. How were you? And I'm glad you say that. How were you guys able to tune out the noise, the critiques, the negativity, and stay focused and still compete for Jamaica at your best? You first, Aileen.
I mean, my thing is that the people that are talking, I mean, come line up with me and run 100. Then you can have something to say. Like, if you can't beat me, then your opinion don't matter. Like, if you can't come out, if you can't run at 300 with me at practice, then you can talk. But if you can't do what I do and train the way I train and do what I do, then your opinion don't matter. I'm still gonna be me. You're still gonna be old and ugly and wherever you are in your
Hello.
state.
Karen, how were you able to tune out the Karen? You're so unassuming. It's like nothing bothers you.
I don't go look for stuff. And thank God, like
You
Instagram,
don't hear nobody tell you.
I think like my friends and my family, they are the one who always stuff affects. And I'm like, I really don't care about this, right? It's like, I don't see it. Like, I don't, like, if I go on Instagram, I don't go look on the comments. I don't care what you have to say. So I don't go look for stuff. But like my family, they would be like, this person say this, and they get mad. And I'm like, why
Yeah,
are you
this is right.
don't know this person? Like, why are you mad? But I agree with Alien. At the end of the day, I can't do what you do, and you can't do what I do. So
Exactly.
your
Exactly.
really, really don't matter to me at all. I, at the end of the day, you're not doing what you want to do, and I'm doing what I love to do. So that's like one time this guy said to me, he was so mad. I was like, I'm gonna have fun. And for me, that was weird as an athlete saying that I'm gonna have fun, because this is really not fun. But I just meant that I am going to start enjoying this. And this dude was so mad at, what are you talking about? You're gonna have fun. And I'm like, first of
Yeah, the
all,
interest.
first of all, you can't run. And if you go in front of 10 people, you probably can't even articulate a full sentence. So please don't.
Move out the way.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay. But I understand Jamaicans are very passionate about the sport. They truly are. And they are the first one who would go off on people if they talk bad about their athletes too. So it is a situation where they can say bad stuff, but nobody else is allowed to. So
Amen.
True.
It's
at,
true.
at, at the end of the day, is they give you praise, and they criticize as well. So I never dwell on the praise, and I never dwell on the criticism,
Do
because
you do you
go ahead.
think the Jamaican fans are too harsh when you guys have downtime? Meaning, if you're expected to do well and you did not, do you think that, and I'm going to say they because I'm not one of them, but do you think that they are too harsh? Yes,
I think it's not just Jamaicans. As human beings, we are too harsh. We're harsh with ourselves. We're harsh with people, and that's just the reality of it. Like, I can watch a basketball game, and I am going off on this person on the screen, and I don't know them,
true, true,
right?
true, true.
But my thing is, I am watching because I need to be entertained, and if they're not entertaining me in the way I want to be entertained, then I get
Yeah.
mad. But I don't get mad at the fans again because I don't dwell on the criticism and I don't dwell on the praises. You know, because I know I really can't please people. So I know that whenever I leave that track, I empty myself on that track. So that is not good enough for you, go try do.
Our athletes have different personality, and Alien have this personality, people person. Alien will celebrate with everybody, even if you should not she win the gold medal. Because I saw that in Athens when Veronica won the 200. Alien went and she picked up Veronica and she started celebrating. She went and get the flag and all of that. But you have other athletes who is not like that. And sometimes people can be very critical and very harsh and thinking that they should do some more. Were you criticized for that, Karen?
Do some more in terms of
In terms of
Celebrating.
celebrating after a race?
She celebrates.
no.
She
Yeah, yeah.
I
Mhm.
I was never criticized. But to be honest, I am never mad at my competitors when they beat me. I have no control over that.
Yeah.
I can't be mad. I can only be mad at myself if I didn't execute my race, if I didn't know. If you beat me, hats off to you cuz you didn't win that race just like that. You had to work.
Work for it, yeah.
But I am always happy. Honestly, whoever win, I am always happy for that person. The only thing is I'm not happy with me because I want to win too. But I respect you enough to believe that okay, this person works just as hard as me, or even maybe harder. And yes, some people might not work as hard as you, but if they win, that's their time, that's their moment. So no, Alien is different though. I'm not gonna run down everybody to hug them or congratulate them. Like,
Yeah,
but
Alien is a energy. Alien is a energy bunny. I tell you, man, Alien is.
I'm gonna say that there's like two vivid memories I have. Like the first time I watched Boys and Girls Jumps, that was Aliens last year, and she killed that 200. I was like,
19,
that's when
1999 it
I
was.
was like, whoa, like this is champs, like. And I remember at Paris 2009 when I finished that race, I could barely walk, and everybody else, all the other athletes were gone, and Alien came and took off my spikes, asked me if I was okay. Another time, I left my spikes at the track, and she picked up my spikes, and a lot of athletes would have never done that. So, so she
Teamwork. That's what,
yeah,
that's what
because you
team.
can't leave your shoes anywhere. We're
Yeah.
Jamaican. Somebody could put something in your shoes.
That's what team is about. That's what teamwork. And Alien is really a team player, and I saw that in her. And let me tell you, as I said before, when Veronica ran her heart out and win that 200 in Athens 2004, it was Alien who went and picked her up off the floor, and they started to do a victory lap celebrating and get the flags. And you would have think that is Alien won the gold medal. And that's what I like to see in sport. If I don't see that, it is fine. But I try to tell people that our athletes, their personalities are different. So if this one will celebrate that way and another one will celebrate in a reserved introvert way, it is okay. It is okay. We don't need to bash them and say, "Oh, they're not a people
no,
person." And
no. I think you can congratulate your opponent.
Yeah, competitor.
I
Yeah.
I don't think that somebody, especially every if you do it at the Diamond Leagues, like that's a lot of races, right? But at the Olympics, the World Championships, like you should go congratulate the person who won. Like there's
yeah,
no excuse at all. Whether
yeah,
you guys speak, whether you guys are friends, you should congratulate that
yeah.
person. You don't
You
have to.
know, I love to give athletes their big up. You know who is very good at that? Marie Jose Talu. Talu hugs everybody. from the Ivory Coast. Yeah, she will just go around, even if she's not on the podium, she's congratulating everybody in that race. And it shows sportsmanship. But I want to ask you guys a question, another question about trials. How happy were you guys when you know that you're coming home for trials? Were you happy? Were you stressed? Was it a
I was
happy
always
moment?
happy. I was always happy because I'm in the US. You don't get, and it's June, mango season. I am extremely happy. And then I get home cooked meal from my mother. I'm not even worried about trials when I going home. I'm more interested in when I touch a Norman Manley, I get a patty and and that's it. Then I'll worry about trials after that. But the main focus for me was being with my family, eating food, eating a mango. Yeah.
Yeah,
Karen?
family is the same thing. Family was big for me to coming home to see everybody because it's not. I don't get to see them every weekend or every. That was big for me, family, and of course the food.
The food, man, the food and the company, the love and everything.
Yeah, just
And
just
I
can
just love the vibe in the stadium, man. It's different. I always look forward to the vibe in the stadium because I don't know if everybody like it, but I tend I don't know if everybody do it, but I tend to check the level of cheer you get when them call your name, and then when
Yeah.
my
Yes.
size big, when my cheer is like bigger than the next person, I was like,
Yeah, that's alien. Oh, yes. As you're on that alien, what is your most memorable trials moment?
oh God, oof. Huh. I'm trying to think. I think it would have been 2003. Yeah, it was my first yeah, my first time, and I think I won trials that year. I think that the first and only time I won trials, yeah.
That was the year you won the NCAA double.
The double, yes, that was, yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I won trials, yay. So that
National
was my
champ.
most favorite. Yeah, that was national camp, and that's one thing I always wanted to um to do would be the national champion, and I got to do that 2003, which was really good. I love that.
Beautiful. Karen, your most memorable trials moment.
I'll have to say 2008 and
It would have to be.
2000 because not 2013 nobody thought that I was even going to make the team, much less win. So that was big.
So it was 2008 and
13.
2013. Interesting. Nice. What would you, our ladies are going to compete starting
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. What are some of the things that you guys can tell them, especially the younger ones who are now stepping up? I mean, the big three, they've been there and done that and they know how it goes. But like the younger ones that we have, like the Alana Reed, the Brianna Williams, Kevona Davis, Janelle Smith, the Clayton twins, those are the generation that is waiting to move up. What are some of the advice that you guys would give those young ladies?
Rest. Rest and avoid social media. Back in my day, we didn't have them things to worry about. I prefer back in those days where you don't have to worry about that. You wait till they get stadium. Whenever you reach stadium, you hear people talking, but just
Yeah.
avoid the noise because people are gonna wanna assign what position you get at trials. So just don't focus on the noise. Focus on you. Focus on the hard work that you put in to get to where you are right now, and just focus on going out there and execute it to the best of your ability. But your nutrition and rest, get enough sleep. um if you have to meditate, do some yoga. If you feel you have like a little crosses, just go see and just wash it off with some salt water and then rest.
We have 15 ladies vying for a spot in the final. 15 ladies, 8 lanes. What would you say to those who, I'm coming to you, Karen, but back to ALEEN. What would you say to those who might not make the top eight? What kind of encouragement would you give them to come back next season and try?
I mean, qualifying for our trials is an accomplishment in itself, because you have to run like some really good time to be able to be considered to compete there. So know that you are capable of doing as good. If you don't make it this year, you will make it another year. 2000, when I wanted to make the Olympics team, I didn't, but I came back 2004 and I made it. And so, just don't give up, keep working, and just stay focused on your goal.
Karen, what advice would you give to the younger generation now waiting to move up as the top three mellow into their thing? What encouragement would you give them lining up against these ladies? Because when you look across, I as a junior look across and I see Sharika and I see Elaine. What am I supposed to do in order to maintain my focus?
I have nothing to lose. That's it. The pressure is on them.
That's a good. You're right. You're right. You're right.
So you have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. One thing I would tell a young athlete, that don't focus on who is there. Focus on execution. Always tell my athletes that you focus on executing your race. That's all you are in control of. You're not in control of anything else other than execution. That's your job. Everything else is none of your business. The time is none of your business. Who you line up next to is none of your business. Go out there and execute. That's it. Execute. Make sure you have fun, and run. That's it.
And
Don't nothing to the line, because the work is already done. There is nothing that you could do to be any better, but you could definitely do a lot of stuff to get worse. So
and and how would you encourage those who not make that cut at the end of that final race? What encouragement would you give them to come back next season and try again and not give up?
I think this is what we fail to do sometimes. This is the reality. 3 spots. There's only 3 spots, right? And you might be in that three, and there's a strong possibility that you will not be in that three. Just keep trusting the process. That's it. Don't give up. Just keep trusting the process. Trust in the process. If you keep working, is a possibility that one day will be your day. But if you give up, that day will never be your day. That
I, With that said, thank you, ladies, very much. But I have to share some of the love on the live. Davian was on the live giving you guys some love. He said, "War, what is that? War Eagle Karen, AU. What does that mean?"
or
University of
or
Auburn.
Oh, it has something to do with Auburn. Okay, he said War Eagle, Karen, Auburn. People on the live, they are saying that you guys are, Jamaican gems. A lot of love coming to you guys from Sandy British, Davian Clark, of course, Marlene Green, Unseen Sports TVs. They're saying, big up and everything. One Kino, everybody. Let me tell you, man, you guys have done a lot for Jamaica's track and field legacy. And by now, you guys know how I feel about you guys. It's no secret that I go batting for the athletes and I big up the athletes. And I just want to say once more, thanks for being here and thanks for your contribution to our track and field legacy. We are at the top, 5 Olympic Games gone since the 21st century. And Jamaica, we've won 4 of the 100-meter title. We've won 4 of the 200-meter titles.
wow.
Oh, nice.
5 Olympics, 2004, 8, 12, 16, 2020. We won 4 of the 100 meter, 2 with Elaine, 2 with Shelley, 4 of the 200 meters, 2 with Veronica, 2 with Elaine. Nobody else has achieved that yet. The mighty, mighty one has not achieved that yet in this century, and we've gone 5 Olympic Games. You guys are remarkable. You guys are brilliant, outstanding, and I cannot say thank you enough to you guys, and just keep doing what you're doing now that you've retired and you're giving back to the sport. Thank you very much, ladies, for being here. Now you can go and have your 4th of July celebration, your fireworks.
Mm. No, they're not. They're my me right now. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
sleep. And this is
I'm hearing the fireworks myself, but the good thing is that the microphone not picking it up. So I was very concerned about that. But guys, thank you very much, ladies. I call you guys Jamaica track and field gems. That's my name for you guys. So thank you very much.
I'm humbled. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're
It's
welcome.
always a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
One
Bye. It's good
Bye.
seeing you.
Marlene, thank you very much. Marlene Green. One Kino, thank you for coming. Unseen Sport TV. I see you. I see you. I see you. Sandy British, I see you. Davian Clark, big up yourself. Thank you guys for being here. I know it's a holiday for a lot. And Caroline Williams, thank you very much for tuning in. And for everybody else who were here before. Tomorrow night, we will be doing trials prediction. So remember to tune in tomorrow night. My good friend, Sports Circle 345, thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you guys very, very, very much. Thank you. Sandy, thank you so much. My producer, Sandy British, thank you. Kina, big up yourself. Unseen, I see you. All right, I'll link you as soon as I'm finished. Marlene Green, bless up yourself. Everybody, thank you very much. This is Track and Field Business Uncut. I'm out. Thank you very much. Okina said, every time, what is this? Every time I hear about trials, I'm nervous and I only watch me. I watch. It's the same thing with me, Kina. I am so nervous and I won't be out there competing, but all of us will be watching together and having a good time. And I cannot wait for Thursday. Thursday. Thank you guys very much. What Unseen saying? What time in the night? Tomorrow we having predictions on scene tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock my time, 7 p.m. Jamaica. So thank you guys very much for being here, and I'm out. Peace.